Thank you, Dory. Our next writer, Thomas Chockley, is a published haiku poet. Allow me to repeat that. Published haiku poet. After retiring from a career as an educator, Tom began writing haiku seriously in 2010. He has had haiku and haiku-related forms published in a wide variety of print and online journals, notably Modern Haiku, Frog Pond, Bottle Rockets, Kernels Online, Shamrock Haiku Journal, most recently in Cattails, in Haibun Today, okay, pronounce it right, and in 100 Gourds Online haiku journals. Tom has also read for the Haiku Society of America. Thomas Chockley, please.
Thank you. I'm sure that most of you already know about haiku, so I'm not going to go through a long definition of it, but I think sometimes it's helpful to get a visual image about haiku. Haiku, to me, are a bit like a double exposure photograph. If you take a look at a double exposure photograph, you'll see both images, but sometimes there's a real overlap between the two that makes for a really interesting and engaging, intriguing way to take a look at that double exposure. And that's what I see haiku as being like. There are two images pushed together into a very short, compact poem, and so sometimes there's an intriguing connection. The second thing I want to say is that when you read haiku, typically because they are so short and compact, you read them twice. So I'm going to be reading them twice in the traditional fashion. It seems a bit pompous at times, so I apologize for that, but here they are. My first one is called Morning Mist. Morning mist, the pond still reflects last night. Morning mist, the pond still reflects last night. I sent that off to a haiku publisher back in 2010, got it published, and I had no idea how lucky I had been, because it turned out that the magazine I sent it to was well known, and so getting one in there was extremely difficult. The second one is also a kind of a traditional nature Japanese type of haiku. Canal boats, wind-danced leaves carry autumn colors. Canal boats, wind-danced leaves carry autumn colors. I sent that haiku off to a couple of American journals, got rejected. I sent it off to the Irish Haiku Society, and they took it. I think it's because they understood the tradition in England of the inland waterways and the freight system of canal boats. So when they read that, they saw the association right away. Haiku are also deal with human nature. And so this next haiku is a human nature one. New cover letter, refolding blankets full of old dreams. New cover letter, refolding blankets full of old dreams. Yeah, I wrote that a couple of years ago during the Great Recession, and it seemed to pique some interest with that. This is another human nature haiku. Green grass shoots, visiting my late parents more often than I. Green grass shoots, visiting my late parents more often than I. Another one. Evening light, tumbling through the hayloft, Grandpa's stories. Evening light, tumbling through the hayloft, Grandpa's stories. I really wasn't sure about those two poems. I sent them off, and sent them to a brand new haiku journal, an online journal, and so they took both of them. I was just astonished that they liked them that well. I wanted to do a bit of audience participation here. You're now expert haiku readers, haiku listeners. So I'd like you to pretend that you're haiku journal editors. I'm going to read two haiku to you, and I've sent them off already. And then I'll ask you which one you would publish if you had a choice. Here's the first one. Falling leaf, I catch her smile passing me. Falling leaf, I catch her smile passing me. And the second one, distant starlight, the shine of sky map on my smartphone. Distant starlight, the shine of sky map on my smartphone. Let me ask, how many of you would have taken falling leaf? Okay, that's great. That makes you good online haiku journal editors. Because this one is being published on an online journal, and I think it's this month. How many of you would have taken distant starlight? Well, that makes you guys good print journal editors. I just heard last week that that one actually was accepted for publication. A related form of haiku is called a haibun. And a haibun is a micro story, very, very short, and a haiku. And just as with other haiku, there's supposed to be a relationship, and that's part of the fun of haiku, is what is that relationship, but they're not supposed to retell each other. So this is a haibun, and it's called Watering Hole. Two guys with worn baseball caps and work t-shirts are at the diner. They chat between mouthfuls of eggs and bacon. I eavesdrop while eating my oatmeal. Nearly finished with their breakfasts, one asks loudly, "Does the white Chevy belong to anyone in here?" He glances my way. "Me," I say. "Need to move it," he says back. No hard stares. He smiles. He knows the car has out-of-state license plates. 10 minutes, I say. He nods. Mixed fruit jelly, the summer shirt bright to locals. The last haiku I'd like to read is called Sky Lanterns. I'm not sure how many of you know what a sky lantern is. They're these large paper hot air balloons. And in China, at the end of the Chinese New Year festival, they have the lantern lighting, and they send them up, and they're filled with blessings and hopes and things of that sort. So here's my Sky Lanterns haiku. Sky Lanterns, my inner dragon making wishes. Sky Lanterns, my inner dragon making wishes. I use that one as a sort of a personal favorite, because every time I send off a haiku, I'm wondering, is somebody going to take it? So it's my personal prayer. Thank you for letting me.